Yeah.
Oh, it just said
Oh,
live.
we're live.
We're amazing at this. Hey guys, welcome to Shadows in the North. I'm Malossar, joined with Lord KURNION and Arahain, and we're gonna go ahead and apologize in advance because we are so bad at this.
You're getting better.
We're the embodiment of professionalism.
Embodiment of professionalism. So we have some exciting news. We have upcoming things, and too bad that's not a glass full of whiskey because otherwise Corey might be in a better mood after watching that debate.
You don't know. It might be vodka.
It could be vodka. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Or thinking about moving to Canada.
Right.
So focused, right? We're focused.
Yeah. Yes.
So the first announcement we have is Arahain or Corey has got some news.
Yeah, it's old news now. Anyone who listens and is a part of the forum already knows, but I'm the Army Community Support of the High Elves of the Ninth Age, which is a great, it's been a lot of fun. It's a good honor, and I'm happy to be supportive as I can. So
do you get leaks, like rule leaks that you can?
No, I don't. You know, you secretly, because before the Army support kind of, I think, could watch that, but these new rules, it's more, and it's still evolving. Like when I first started, they didn't even allow me to moderate or kind of even reorganize the subforum.
Mm-hmm.
So they've changed that sense because it just makes sense for us to be able to move stuff around and reorganize and all that jazz. So things change, but right now, no.
No.
No, I'm just as in the dark as everyone else, which is
You're essentially an
bummer,
ignorant cheerleader.
Yes, I was gonna just say a glorified cheerleader, but I was also gonna add to that I love being it, so it's okay.
You love being you're a glutton for pain.
I'm a glutton for the pain. Yeah,
that's what I got out of it too. Yeah,
right.
Totally. Yeah. I can't wait for the new changes because that's when we've been pretty stable now for however many months. So gonna be fun when the changes hit because you never know what can happen. So that's when I think I got to get on my padding. So right now it's
okay. Fun is an interesting term. I like that. I like that choice of word. That's a good one.
Yep, I can be interesting. Yeah.
And
so
then,
that was my news.
And then Malossar or Joe has some news as well.
Yeah, I made the USA's ETC team for next year, which is pretty exciting. Don't drink that on camera.
Dang it.
Gaddy, what are you drinking tonight?
We're going to get sued.
It depends if they're willing to pay me money or not.
They're not.
Awesome.
I'm drinking one of the few remaining beers in my house.
Which is?
There's a blue ribbon on it.
Oh, there's a blue ribbon. Good old PBR.
Yeah,
Donald Trump 2016 PBR. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm hoping if I can publicly shame you enough for drinking that, then you'll never do it again.
No, I mean, it's going to happen.
Do it. Keep doing it.
Oh, God. So we're focused. We're so good at this.
We are great. All right. So basically, that's kind of the new updates. How about hobby? What have you guys been up to? Stunned silence. That was great.
I did a base for my ancient dragon, because it's the new huge Ragnarok base.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And
I'm doing I'm being a little bit glib about it because my public disobedience is I put the old metal Imric dragon on there, so he's really little. The base is bigger than the dragon.
He's a baby.
He's not gonna have a problem ranking up.
He's not gonna have a problem ranking up, no.
So it's all about optimism.
Optimism. Well, see, I ordered the Creature Caster Kickstarter dragon 2 years ago. It was supposed to be here 2 years ago.
Yep.
And it's the Emperor dragon, so it's a huge dragon size, but it still has not shipped.
And huge. He knows a lot of people.
It's huge. He's got huge hands.
Great.
For those of our very few listeners that I would assume that are not in America, we are making fun of Donald Trump and the current political state.
I'm pretty sure
America.
I'm pretty sure the world knows about Donald Trump.
The world, unfortunately,
they are quaking and they're like, guys, this isn't funny anymore. Just stop.
You know what I think is funny? If we can do this rabbit hole real quick, is that South Park last year called this.
I don't remember the episode, but I can imagine.
Yeah. Everybody go back last year.
Yeah.
Use the back finger. Find that episode on Hulu. And mourn with me.
So,
Yeah,
Corey, what
more
have you
with
been
us.
doing?
Yeah. You know, lately, I'm gonna be honest. So it's been a little slow. Primarily when I've been painting, it's been doing one of two things. One, I'm kind of a glutton. Glutton for punishment seems to be a trend, but I am a little OCD in regards to a lot of the fine detail on models.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I'm kind of returning to some of the stuff done already and just going over it again. Primarily the Queen's Guard. So last tournament they were pretty much done, but they just needed, from my own insecurity or whatever, I needed to do more. So I've been working on them. But on the other hand, I'm also starting to collect models for a Beast Herds army. So specifically, really themed though. It's not going to be Beastmen run around. It's actually going to be like winter barbarians who worship wolves. So really getting the imagery down, putting stuff up, doing a lot of research on that, and then getting an air gun ready
Airbrush.
for airbrush. Thank you. Getting an airbrush ready for all
Use your
that too.
words.
So yeah. So that's what I'm doing. That's
Cool.
the hobby part of it.
Cool. So yeah, with the airbrush, that'll really speed up the flesh tones. Those really do help a lot with flesh tones and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then it's just a
I'm
case of
excited
like
about it.
adding some washes at the end of it, and you're all like set.
Yep.
So for my hobby, I bought basically a Fireforge army, pretty much entirely
Oh.
Fireforge and Perry for Equitane. I have everything that I need except
I didn't know you got everything, man.
Yeah, no, I just decided, I was
for
like,
it.
you know what, it's going to be purchased anyway, and I get free
Mhm.
shipping if I spend a certain amount, so I'm just going to spend a certain amount, and
Nice.
I did, and so yeah, I got 2 units of Knights Templar, which are going to be my errants. I got
Mhm.
1 box of Teutonic Knights, which are going to be my Knights of the Realm. I have a unit of Perry Foot Knights, like circa, I think it's their War of the Roses line. So these are guys with very heavy armor on foot with great weapons.
Mhm.
And that'll go into what I'm doing with them, because I also got 2 units of Perry mounted knights, and I'm going to do a conversion for questing knights from them. Chop the torso of the guys with great weapons off and put them on the legs of the horse riders, and use that for my questing knights. Also use those guys for, well, I was going to use those same models for both Peg Knights and Grill Knights as well, but apparently Fireforge is making Grill Knights, making Peg Knights, which I'm going to now buy those so I don't have to dig up wings, which are apparently impossible to find. So yeah, I've been doing that. I assembled my first box of Knights Templar and started painting them. They're primed. I got some paint on a couple of the horses.
Well done.
It's a slow process. I'm making strides. So this is something that, like, I was mentioning it to you guys earlier before we started this, and I mentioned it a little bit on Once Bitten's channel, I guess, not that long ago. I responded to a video, and I was like, the big problem I have with painting right now, with the way the game currently is not necessarily the game insecurity, because I mean, Knights Aspirant, I'm going to use them. The issue I have, though, is I have trouble getting involved enough with an army to motivate myself to paint when I get home at the end of a long day, when I don't know, like, the background and the fluff. Like, even if like I trust that I'm going to like the fluff, I trust I'm still going to play Equitane. The issue I have is just motivating myself to paint if I'm disconnected to the army, because I don't like have a background story. I don't like have anything that I can really build off of in my head. Then it's harder for me to motivate myself. So that's a personal thing, and that'll probably be resolved when they finally release the fluff, which will have an idea of which direction they're going. So there's that. So yeah, I mean, I've been trying to force myself to do at least a little bit a night. My girlfriend knits, so she knits, I paint, and we watch House, basically.
That's a good use of time.
So you're 73 years old, huh?
Yep, we're 73 years old. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's the way we spend our evenings. But yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. And then I've been doing like when I'm up at her place for the night, I like bring some models to assemble or something. And then when we're back in my place, I paint. So I'll be starting to chip away. We've been starting to do that more and more, and hopefully we continue to do that more. Fortunately, I'm on smalls rotations right now, so basically means next I'm on Family Med, which is business hours, no weekends. So I'll have a lot more time, hopefully, to paint. I don't know. We'll see how much of a taskmaster my attending is, but hopefully not that much of one. So that'll be fun. But yeah, so I mean,
and the more fluff they can give too, that'll make that easier. I feel you on that. I think that's why the wolf cult in my head right now is really easier to try to get into because it's new, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I think if you already have an existing army, it's tough to continue with that army if you're not inspired to do too much more. So I can't wait for the fluff. I'm with you.
Yeah. And that goes into our next point. So what are we? So we talked about this in a previous stream that like 4 people watched or something, and basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a campaign, a story-based campaign with the 3 of us and Gene. Is Gene still with us?
Yeah, the Wargaming from the Balcony, Waldorf will be doing that with us.
Yeah.
Where's Stadler? At Gene Phelps, at the real Gene Phelps.
The real Gene Phelps, because there's a lot of imposter Gene Phelps.
There's some imposters.
Yeah,
he's a cool dude.
He kind of is. But yeah, so we're all going to be doing that. What we were talking about is starting at 750 points and building up 250 points a month. Meeting up once a month because we all live in the general area of each other. Meeting up once a month somewhere that's within an hour of all of us and playing a couple games of small games and use that for building up the army. So we're going to be doing that, which will be fun. So I'm doing Equitane for that, so that'll get me forced to paint there. Corey is doing his
Beast Herds. Really, I'm calling it like Wolfkin because they're going to look really friggin' cool. They're not going to look like Beastmen, but actually, the Beastmen army there's just so many cool things you can do with that. So Beast Herds. That's what I'll
quick aside, actually, have you seen the movie, and it's actually based off of Michael Crichton book called The 13th Warrior?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's when you're describing this to me, that's what I picture.
Oh yeah? Is that really what you're picturing?
I mean, yeah, they're like they think they're bears. They think they're bears. It's just like it's like to replace bear with wolf, and it's basically what I'm imagining your army's going to be. Like, humans, but
oh, exactly. See, I thought you were joking on me. Yeah.
No, I'm 100% serious.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Humans taking on a manifestation of beasts. Like that's kind of what I picture. So yeah, no, I like the idea.
And I like, you're buying different, I'll call third party right now because it's not, we're getting away from GW. So you're buying a lot of high quality miniatures from different places, and they're kind of growing. I mean, Perry, that's a huge name out there, but like the Fireforge, it's not something I knew about before Ninth Age. So some of I'm doing the same thing with a lot of my models, is looking around. North Star Miniatures, who do a lot of Frostgrave stuff, they are actually coming out with kind of winter barbarians who look really, really good and not overly Conan the Barbarian type stuff. Coming out in November, and I've pre-ordered a bunch of them. So I'm totally right there with you about. I'm excited about a lot of new models right now.
And then Joe, what are you doing?
I'm gonna wait and we'll figure out what I'm gonna play after the November update.
Okay. That's probably about when we'd be starting anyway. So
right. So we're because of my new commitment to the ETC team, I have to be able to play a couple different armies effectively. So obviously Highborn is my best army right now. But
debatable.
Hey.
Shit. Shots fired.
Shots fired. Savage.
Dude, grudge match, round 1 in Mountain Mayhem. Grudge match.
It might happen.
It might happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Why not?
I need a chance.
Oh, come on, baby.
I could always submarine. I could always submarine. Maybe we should do grudge.
The Owen Whalen special.
Joe Finlayson special too.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no. So we're gonna start that probably. Probably escalate. We were talking 2,500 point final or 3,000 point final.
I think it was 3K.
Just so we have some variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Other news with what's been going on. What do you guys think of these Ninth Age rumors?
Mm. Well,
You might want
it's
to
funny you say
investigate.
that. Before we came on, and you were fixing some of the stuff, we talked briefly about the new divination path that's kind of been previewed. Have you got a chance to see that, Getty?
The new divinations path. No.
Yep. So it's
Specifically how it relates to Highborn.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, specific for those who haven't seen it, I would the Orange Road that YouTube channel actually does a really good review. I know there's a lot out there, and you can probably find the path on the site, but it's like a mixture of the old path or excuse me, I made no sense. The old light and heavens, definitely, yeah. So it kind of mixes those two. It has kind of a lore. It has an attribute which gives cold-blooded. Has this extra special rule that kind of captures the old light coven theme, which is where every additional divination path user adds, I think it's 3 inches to the range of spells. So it kind of captures that feel. They have really high damaging, low number valued damage spells, and then some really effective buffs. So
Augments. Yeah, it's the way we were looking at it was if you took in right now what the rules are, which is of course foolish to think of, but the Asfad Scholar from
mm-hmm,
Highborn, which gives you an extra 6-inch ranges to your spells and an extra
yeah,
3-inch on your auras, where
mm-hmm,
the entire most of the lore can be the augments can be buffed out with a 6-inch aura, which becomes a 9-inch aura. And if you
mm-hmm,
took a Master of the Canrig Tower with your Dispel Scroll, who can still take like a Searing Doom to help with that high armor stuff, and the Divination
Nice.
attribute, we're not really sure how
mm-hmm,
this is going to work, but then you're looking at
right,
12-inch auras possibly.
mm-hmm,
And then
yeah,
27-inch ranges for most of those spells being cast on an 18.
mm-hmm,
Every spell except for the 6th spell, which is probably going to be one of the best spells in the game,
yes,
is cast on a 9 or below, which
yep.
means with a level 4 with the Book of Arcane Power, you're looking at 3-dicing the entire lore.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this? Where was this previewed? Was it on the forum?
If you go under the Highborn forum, Corey started a thread on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's in a couple different places, but that's the one I know. Just like Joe did, like, boom. You
just
can go to the Highborn Elf lore, go to the topic that's like how the divination path works with high elves or something like that, and then there's a YouTube link where you can kind of review it, and he has a picture of the lore in small font that you can kind of see, but it's on other places. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you just where to go to like a preview PDF or whatnot.
right,
Okay,
well,
But
yeah,
yeah,
because
that,
I
kind of
can't
enjoyable.
find that thing,
yeah,
but okay,
yeah. So
cool.
listen to this though. What Joe was just talking about was the level 6 spell though. It is, I don't know if the other lores are like this. The consensus was that people thought magic was going to be slow. It's been being toned down over time, and it has, I think, without a doubt, toned down. But the we thought it was going to happen more. But this level 6 spell, it's kind of like the anti-character bust spell, and it's like the old net of Amtok from Warhammer, and I forget what it was called in
Net of
Ninth Age.
Light.
Thank you. Yep, Net of Light. And so what it does is after a certain, you might remember more. It's like D6 per. You got to roll a dice for
Yeah,
the
it's
unit. If you roll a 6, you
so for
can't
the
do
character
anything.
that the unit you cast it on, you roll a
Yep,
d6, and for every additional character, you roll an additional d6. Any
exactly.
of those dice that come up as a 6, the unit cannot act in a certain way in every phase. So in the
Yep,
declaring
you're
charge
done.
is sub phase, you can't declare charge. You
Hmm.
can't
Right.
march in the movement phase. You can't shoot or cast magic in those phases.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it is. I love it because I think it's another way to be like, should I really take that Death Star bus if I run into somebody with divination? That could really ruin my day.
Yep. Yep.
It
Exactly.
also changes your mentality on like deployment. Like, oh, I might have to split my characters up here instead of just throwing them all in because of
Right.
that spell. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think divinations is an incredible lore
Mm-hmm.
specifically to Highborn, but also to
Mm-hmm.
armies like Saurian Ancients, who
Yep.
struggle with
Yep.
weapon skill and initiative.
Mm-hmm.
That spell is outstanding. Now
Hmm.
they're not going to get as much mileage out of the cold-blooded rule unless they make it now where you throw 4 and take the 3 high, take
Right.
the 2 high, 2 lowest,
Mm-hmm.
which they're never going to run.
Mm-hmm.
And then also with the divine attack magic missiles. That's something we
That's
haven't
true.
even
They are
talked about
divine.
yet. The first one
Yeah.
is you do D3 or D6 depending on if you boost it or not.
Mhm.
Automatically hitting, automatically wounding divine attacks.
Hmm.
There's no
Mhm.
armor modifier, or you can't take regens. No ward saves, no regens. That's it.
Okay.
Auto hit, auto wound, no ward save, no regen.
What's the strength?
It's auto hit,
It's
auto wound.
just
There's no strength.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's no armor mod then.
No,
Mhm.
but you're chucking it at.
Or it
troll.
might be -2. I
No,
wish
that's
we
the
had
big.
rules on it.
The big one is you do 2d6 hits.
Gotcha.
That
Gotcha.
wound on a 4 up, armor piercing
That
2.
AP2. Gotcha.
divine
Okay.
attacks.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
How
So
That's
about
why I was
very
thinking. Oh, if
cool.
you took a Canrig Tower guy with
Mhm.
alchemy and then the signature spell from Heavens,
Mhm.
which is what Stars Align.
I don't. I don't remember the names. Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So I mean, it looks solid on paper. I'm already
Yeah.
rolling.
And it was very impressive because I think a lot of people were a little surprised at the pyromancy just because it was a clear tone down. It was very one dimensional, and that's kind of keeping with what people were saying. Like those 10 lores, the 10 paths are going to be very hyper focused, so it's going to really dictate what your army can and can't do. So pyromancy fit that. It was a little toned down lore, generally speaking. So divination, I think, was a huge surprise because it has the utility bait feel, while also being really good.
Yeah, it's the well, I mean, it's still very focused. There's only 2 damaging spells,
Mhm.
and then everything else is augments.
Mhm.
So you're specifically channeling and trying to.
Did we lose him?
Can you hear me?
Yep,
There you go.
Yep.
We're so professional.
So professional.
Continue.
It was just the end. It was the end of your sentence. Yeah, continue.
Oh, so it's the that I think the signature spell is the target gains distracting and hard target, and you're also going to give them cold blooded, because of the attribute.
Yeah, and for the record, I think we're calling cold-blooded. I believe it's worded not cold-blooded.
It's
I
not,
think it's
yeah.
worded you roll an extra dice and get rid of the lowest.
Right, because
So it's
cold-blooded
better
when
than
it's not.
cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's better in that it can stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, lizardmen aren't going anywhere because lore. There's just like percentage on that is just like. Ugh.
What's that going to be? Like a 75% pass on snake eyes with a reroll?
So let's see. With 3 dice, they have a 1 in 12. So with 4 dice, wow. So let's see. That's 1 in 36. There's.
Get your timer out.
Yeah, I know.
Don't wait.
It's good.
They have like a 1 in 28% chance, or they have a 28% chance.
1 in 6. It's about a 1. It's about a 1 in 6. A little bit better than that.
And then throw in a reroll,
Yeah.
so you have 30% chance of staying.
A
And
little
that's an
less than
attribute. That's an attribute, everyone.
That's an attribute.
I mean, that's a good spell.
Yeah.
So,
We're excited for divination.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it makes me. I can't wait to see the other paths because
Yeah, it's really
that's
interesting.
it was neat to see you can see kind of the roots, but it's definitely its own thing. It's not like, oh, it's just a mix of light and heaven. I know I described it that way, but that's because you can see the roots, but it's definitely its own thing. It's pretty cool. It's neat. I'm excited for the other ones.
Yeah. It definitely brings it up. So we should talk about Mountain Mayhem real quick.
Oh yeah, you guys talk it up.
So we're both bringing Highborn again.
Again.
So, but what are you not bringing, Corey?
Don't be still.
Can I just twist the dagger a little bit?
So I'm sure. Well, I don't know if anyone knows. I like to think people know, but people don't know. So typically, I take the Sloop Prints on a sky sloop, and I've been taking him for almost since the beginning of ninth. I've always loved the models, and I've always tried to use even the sky cutters. I just wanted to use them because it was such a cool model. So finally, the Sloop Prints comes along, and so I used one of them. I didn't spam. and I had a pretty decent run with the list. It was a combined arms approach, but as many people know, the Sloop Prints was one of the in the recent update was one of the options that was taken away. So I'm not taking that. Instead, it's still a combined arms approach, taking him out and buffing up some of my shooting and combat elements, and basically replacing him with the Cav Prince instead. So very sad, but still cool. I still like my list, but I love.
Are you crying?
A little.
He worked so hard on that damn model.
Oh, so hard. Well, it's funny because I literally painted him up for the last tournament, and then right after they took it away, and it was like back on the shelf. So, but before we started recording, Joe was like, "You should just try event. I should challenge you to use him again." And you know what? I might do that eventually, but I also think they're going to bring it back in some capacity pretty quick. So,
You're still in a mourning phase.
yes, still after however long.
Let's see. Denial is step 2 or step 1? Denial step 1.
He's not bargaining yet.
Right. He's not bargaining yet.
Just wait till I start. Come on, maybe I can still use him, right? He's almost the same with the Bow of Elu. No, he's not. He's not even close. Not even close. And now I get enraged. Is that the third? I forget the steps.
You're a psychologist.
No, I'm a behavior analyst. We don't do this stuff.
Oh.
My psych rotation's in December, so I don't know.
Joe, you're the expert on this one, man.
I don't feel emotion, so you guys.
Pop psychology, go.
Pop psychology. Yeah, so you buffed out your Cav bus, right? With the Prince and the War Banner and a Silverhelm bus. Or a Lance.
Yeah, and I took that in the last list, but so now it just hits a whole ton harder and is much more reliable. It's got the Prince with the Blade of Strife, which gives him 7 attacks. He's got 8 on the charge because he's a Rima Prince. Or I think I made points for that. So he's got a bunch of strength attacks, and people might go, "Oh, yeah, it's only strength 4," but he's with Rima, so that means he's charging in with strength 5. And when I need to go stronger, he does have the potion of strength, so he can that guy and go to town on a unit or a model that I just need to take down.
On the charge, you'd have 8 strength 7 attacks with lightning reflexes.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So. Yeah, so that's the biggest, and it's one of these. I won't say. Well, yeah, the traditional approach to the Cap Prince is always that giant blade. So I love this combo because I think the Rima banner really makes it a little more rounded. It's not just pop the potion or be mediocre. On the charge, he's pretty good. So yeah. I really like that. And then the other change, as far as adding some other shooting or utility to the list, is just Grey Watchers. I kind of missed them last tournament. Played a dwarf army, and even when you're not playing a dwarf army, if there's a stone throw on the board, it drastically changes everything about deployment and strategy. So that was one thing I was kind of missing. You could deal with those elements, but I wanted something where, turn 1 to 2, I could put enough pressure on or take the War Machine off where then I could advance. So that helps a lot with that. So I'm really excited about adding a unit of 8 Grey Watchers. Yeah.
What are you taking, Joe?
Yeah.
I am taking the Double Dragon build this time. I've been running a lot of combined arms, and I kind of, when the preview came out too, I was like, I wonder how often we're going to be able to take Double Dragon. Not that I don't think it might go away like it possibly could, but it probably will stay. So I just want to make sure I could do it one time. So did Corey go away?
Nope. I'm here.
Okay. So I'm running the Highborn Prince. He is not a Prince of Rima because it's like 75 points more for devastating charge. So I'm running the Prince naked. He gets the Wizarding Hood, the Dispel Scroll, the Beastbane Halberd, and he rides an Ancient Dragon. Which is kind of fun. I specifically put the Wizarding Hood on there, not just to be my scroll caddy, but because it makes him stupid. And so as a Highborn, I get 3 dice for stupidity checks, but it makes my dragon immune to psychology. which is the biggest for me. So I can flee things through my dragon and not worry about him running off the table with him because I hate leadership checks.
Yeah, they suck.
I
I'm
fail
surprised you're
them
not
so
just like, I'm
often.
gonna. Well, I guess I know why you're not doing like I'm just gonna do demons, but I'm surprised you're not doing like I'm gonna do vampires or something,
Yeah, I don't know.
or lizards for that matter.
Or lizards. I actually that's funny. I did like 10 test games with lizards, because I have Gurn's
Mm,
army.
you're
Um,
good. Yep.
and it kind of felt like you either run, quadruple cowboy, um, or you run double Cayman blocks and just shoot everything with your skirmishers and wait, and then go clean up with either cowboys or Cayman. So I was kind of bored. I wanted to move more. So
Fair enough.
um, and so the rest of my high elf list for Mountain Mayhem, good rabbit hole. Um, I'm then running a dragon mage. He's a level 2. With the Tome of Arcane Lord, Hardened Shield, Dragon Armor, and the Dusk Stone. So he's got a 2-up rerollable armor save, a 6 up ward,
Mhm.
and he
With a
rocks.
total of 4 spells.
4 spells on a level
4
2.
spells. Yep.
Nice.
Gives me 6 spells total with the Wizard Hood.
Mm-hmm. Which is pretty good.
It's solid.
Pretty good. Yeah.
That's pretty solid. And actually, it's funny, in like a couple of my games, my Dragon Mage has done better in close combat than the Star Dragon
That's funny.
With your dice, I'm not that surprised.
Right. Like I sent against, like I was playing a test game against like Dark Elves, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna roll this dude. Like he has nothing that can kill my Ancient Dragon, right? And the only thing like a unit of 10 crossbowmen could see was my Ancient Dragon. So he shot him. He needed 6s to hit, 6s to wound. He put 5 wounds on me in round 1 with 10 crossbowmen.
That's funny.
That's like great. Awesome.
That's funny.
And then like to like clear him to get into his bunker, like because I only had 2 wounds left and there was no line of sight blocking terrain near me. I charged 5 Cold One Knights, or Raptor Knights is their new name. They didn't have a champ;
Mm-hmm.
they had a banner. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll kill like 3 or 4. He'll break. I'll overrun, and I need like a 6 to get into his like level 4. And I was super excited. It's gonna happen. I whiff all of my attacks. He does another wound to me, and then I break and run from combat and get run down. My Dragon Mage, on the other hand, blank charges a unit of Blackguard and kills a whole bunch. And the Blackguard break and run from combat from the Dragon
Nice. Nice.
Mage.
Once again, good rabbit hole though.
Yeah.
Oh, Corey, what happened in our game with the Ancient Dragon?
Oh, that's even better. So I had charged your ancient dragon with a unit of spears, held you up, and flanked with some sword masters. And I forget why, but I was feeling cocky. I didn't challenge you with my champ.
But I had death sniped your champion. Touch of the Reaper.
Okay, couldn't remember. Yeah, so the spearman did that, but didn't have it with the sword masters. Anyway, thinking, well, let's got a bunch of attacks. Let's do this. I did like 2 wounds maybe, or maybe 1. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, your turn to roll. You got your thunder stomp. I'm pretty sure you had your breath weapon. I don't remember if you burned it on the spears. But anyway, so you come back at me. You whiff all of your attacks. Your prince whiffs. I think in total, you kill 2 models.
2 models. With
2 models. 2
with
models.
Thunderstomp and
With
a breath
Thunderstomp, 2 models. And then I end up breaking you. You run away. I don't catch you. That would have been just icing. But yeah, you ended up winning that game handedly. But it was definitely a funny this should not happen. But it happens. It's a dice game. Some people
Right.
like Age of Dragons. It sucks that it happens. But I don't know. I don't. It needs to happen. Otherwise, there's literally like a toughness 7 monster running around. Very hard to kill. Cannons are the only thing that does it so reliably. I don't know. So it was very funny. It was very funny.
It was humorous to say.
So what's the rest of your army, or is it just 2 dragons? You just like screw it. No, I'm done. I'm just done.
Actually, so then I have a Battle Cinder Bear on a horse with barding. He has the Flesh Render and the Demon Hunter helm. So he's got a 2-up, 6-up board, 3-up against Magic, 3-up board against Magic. He has strength 6 and mine with an additional AP1, which is pretty solid. And then for core, what did I take? I took 22 archers with the banner, musician, and the gleaming icon. And then I took 2 units of 6 lancers with mounts protection 5-up, a champ, and a banner, and then a unit of 5 reavers with bows. So the lancers are there for mobile scoring units, and then also as challenge magnets for the ancient dragon.
Very important.
Very important. Although every time I've tried to set that up, the lancers fail an easy charge. I'm talking like a 6-inch charge.
Oh man.
Fail it.
Which is impressive. You can't get under 4 with a champion.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's pretty.
You rose to the occasion.
My dice fell to the occasion. How about that? And then for special, I have a unit of 9 Knights of Rima with devastating charge, banner, musician, and the war banner of Rima. So the BSB goes there, and it makes for a really punchy block. In that game, your cab bus went head to head with my cab bus, and my cab bus won.
For the record, you did charge.
I did charge, but for the record,
that might impact a cavalry.
Hold on. For the record, how many knights did I manage to kill with strength 7?
That's true. I don't know. Was it 2 or 3?
I killed 2 knights with strength 7, and I killed your BSB. But that should happen. Oh no, I only killed 1 knight because my BSB killed your champion in a challenge.
So it was a total of 2, but yes, it was only. I don't even know how that happened. It was a weird game, but again, you won the game handily.
Right.
You did enough wounds in that. I don't even know how you auto broke me. Didn't you auto break?
I did because you only had like 3 in the back rank, so we both.
Oh, that's why. Yep.
I didn't auto break you. You were just testing on a. Because remember, I killed you.
Low. Yep.
But I killed your Swordmaster champ, which put -1 leadership on your bus. Your BSB was dead, and you were testing like a 5. So
that's exactly right. Wow, your memory, nicely done.
It's like one of the only games I've played with this list. So
it's really impressive that you can give like colorful descriptions of games like this, and then you do battle reports and they suck.
Right. Well, I'm reading the battle report description that I have right now.
Oh, are you writing this up? You wrote it up?
No, I already wrote it up. So that's why
I did not consent. I didn't give you consent, sir. In this election cycle, you are making light of my consent.
I don't care.
Moving on.
Okay, so then I have 2 units of 10 Grey Watchers with longbows for 20 poison shots. 1 Great Eagle. I think that's it.
Cool.
That sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. I will not be going to this tournament, unfortunately.
I know. We're bummed.
Multi-factorial in the fact that I don't have an army, and the other factor being that there is an event in DC that I have to go to on Saturday night. So
it's only it's only an hour away. You could drive back.
Yeah, it's a black tie event. It's a black tie event. It's probably like not get there late or something.
You're late to everything.
I've just like given up on making excuses about being late to things, and it's like I'm just gonna be late because of who I am as a person.
Right.
There you go.
Just my temperament.
You're fashionably late, and to a black tie event, you can be fashionably late.
Although to be fair, for like med school functions, I'm usually actually early. It's actually pretty weird.
It's almost Well, when you have to be, it's good to be. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like I was late to something my first year, and they made me write like an essay on professionalism. And
no.
And my laziness has trumped my desire to be late to things. So
definitely,
I quickly changed my ways when it comes to official functions and whatnot. But yeah,
except for your friend waiting at the airport so we can drive to a tournament, then you'll be an
okay. That was to be fair. You landed significantly early.
15 minutes early.
15 whole minutes.
Hour and a half. Okay.
We were
Well,
crushing it. We were crushing it all around.
Yeah. We've stayed on. We've done our bullets, man. We've rocked it.
We have. We've stayed mostly on course. It was pretty solid all around.
we tried to get out
But
of
yeah,
the way.
but basically what I'm planning on doing is in order to get an army that I can actually play games, borderline just like over the next just picking a weekend coming up and just airbrushing my demons and just like, you know what, I'll take mono corn and just be hamstrung. And what a better way to learn the rules for that than
Might not be
take an army that
hamstrung.
like I'm handicapped for.
Well, and then
Which,
they're
by the way,
updated.
Joe, when are
Was
you
it
gonna review
February?
that list that I sent you, Joe?
I never got it, Gaddy.
You definitely got it. I sent it to you. It's in my outbox.
It's
Oh, you-
literally not in my inbox. Would you like me to screen share?
No, it's
Joe,
all right.
Joe, you got it.
I even if you screen share,
Oh,
I'm
you know
still
what?
not
You
going to
did
trust
say-
you.
I just found it, but I almost deleted it because you battle scribed it to me, and these are impossible to read.
Right.
It's
All
just
right.
wall of text. I did find it. I just found it right now.
Okay. Well then, yeah,
Harbinger of Wrath.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I might try to do that. Just try to airbrush, get things done, and then that way I can take my time and play games outside of the campaign while I wait to pay up everything else. So
Yes, because we need more people at tournaments.
yes.
Yeah. Yes,
And I mean, I'm not going to be competing for first place. I actually do really like that list. I don't know. It could use some toying, but I mean, I don't understand what they did to like corn demons in the Ninth Age, because back when we were doing like Swedish comp, I made a list which had a Bloodthirster, a BSB on a throne with the Wrath aura, 2 units of Bloodletters to fill min core, 2 units of Juggernauts of 4, 2 units of 4 Juggernauts, 4 command, 2 units of 5 Fleshhounds, and 2 Skull Cannons, and that was 2,500 points. Now when I do it, if I try to fit in a Bloodthirster, a BSB, min core, and 2 units of Juggernauts, then I don't even have points for 1 Skull Cannon, and Skull Cannon's only increased by like 30 points. So
You didn't have the Juggernauts on the 2,500 point list.
not in the one that I took to the one tournament, the one that I was going to take to Nerdhammer.
I don't know.
It had 2 Juggernauts, 2 Fleshhounds, 2 Skull Cannons, two Bloodletter blocks, BSB general, and it was like a Swedish comp like 13-9, and I don't know what they did to points that make that I can't even fit in either Fleshhounds or even a single Skull Cannon with that. Or actually, maybe I could get 1 Skull Cannon and not the Fleshhounds or the second Skull Cannon. It was something like that. But like
Because
basically
your
the
Skull
army.
Cannon is no longer 120 points.
Yeah, but it went from 135 to 165. Like that's not a significant enough increase to remove 2 units of Fleshhounds.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so I don't know what they did with points. I'm assuming that the Juggernauts just increased in points dramatically from 8th edition, where they were underpowered, to the 9th Age, where they are more underpowered. But unfortunately, with requiring scoring units, I kind of have to take them if I'm doing mono corn, because the only other option is Bloodletters, which are also crap. So yeah, it's going to be a fun series of games until I get my Aquitaine painted up, because yeah. Well, hopefully the Demon book comes out, or they change the Demon book when they release this next Tuesday, and maybe change some points around. I don't know what they're planning on doing with demons with that, and I know they're one of the first books to be redone because they did shit at EDZ. So
I think one country took them.
They had more than one country. They just scored dramatically below the average, like including standard deviation. Like,
yeah,
their like average battle points per game was like 8 or something.
Ouch.
Which is, yeah, considering the vast majority of other armies were like at 10 or like between 9.5 and 10.5. Like that's where most armies sat, and then there's like Iron Dwarves, Infernal Dwarves, that were like at 12, and like High Elves at like 11 point something, and then everyone else, and then Dark Elves and Demons at like below 9. So yeah, crushing it, just straight killing it.
Yeah, Norway was the only team to take Demonic Legions. And in 6 games, they scored 44 points.
So they crushed it.
7.3 average battle points.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, I just kind of want an army that I can use so I can like go on a Saturday and play games and not just like, I don't know. 'Cause that's probably another part of the reason of like lack of motivation, right? Like if you're not playing any games, you're just sitting around and like
Yeah, I get that. I feel that. But it is
watching a lot
12:30
of football.
a.m.
Yes, it is indeed. All right. So who's doing the wrap up?
Corey.
Joe,
He's
you
community
always do the wrap
support.
up.
I always do intro. You do wrap up. I'll do wrap. All right. So,
yeah, you do wrap up.
Shadows in the North. I'm Malossar.
I'm KURNION.
And I'm Arahain.
And we are so terribly sorry.